All right guys, Steve Harris with Low Class Media. Today we're going to be comparing my 2020 KTM 250 XC TPI with my 2021 Surron X Black Edition. All right, so we're at Spoaks Motopark here in Lockhart, Texas, and today we're going to be doing a comparison of these two bikes. So I've ridden this property many times on this bike. This is actually one of my favorite properties to ride on, and it has kind of everything. It's, has ups and downs, rocks, roots, smooth, flowy trail. It's really got everything, which I don't think this bike can do all of it, but I've carved out a section in the trail that I think is probably going to lend more to the capabilities of this bike here. Obviously, each of these bikes has its particular set of strengths and its particular set of weaknesses. This bike is more light and flickable. It's actually got really, really great brakes, so it stops really, really well. And it's got the added benefit of having that instant torque electric motor style throttle response. Whereas this bike, you really have to wind it up more because it's a two-stroke, to get it up to speed and get it into the power. And sometimes, the power can really snap and potentially get away from you. And so it just kind of makes it a little bit harder to control compared to this bike. This bike is obviously going to be in some ways, certainly harder to ride. It's heavier, it's bigger, it's more powerful. Sometimes you could even call it a little bit more unpredictable, but it's got so much brute force that if you can tame it, I think it's ultimately going to be faster than this bike. One thing I would worry a little bit more about on this bike versus this bike is the chassis is just simply not as robust. This bike is going to take way more abuse on any sort of gnarly trail conditions compared to this bike. So I'm definitely going to have to tread a little bit more lightly on this one just to make sure that I actually make it out of here alive. One final point I want to make here is, speed really isn't everything. So I'm not super concerned, ultimately with which bike is faster. Although again, I do want to see how they stack up. But the fun factor on this bike and the fun factor on this bike are completely different. And I get a certain type of joy out of riding this and a certain type of joy out of riding this. So no matter what, these are both great bikes. And whatever we see as the result here today, I'm gonna continue riding both of them equally because I love them both. So let's jump on the trails and check it out, and we'll let you know the results.
All right, folks, Clash of the Titans, e-bike versus gas bike. We're good and warmed up. I got the course set. We're gonna go check out what kind of time we can put down on the 250 XC KTM. I honestly don't know which bike's gonna be faster. I really do not. Yeah. But
well, that was you on the Sur-Ron earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you switched up.
No, that was me. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead of y'all.
All right, cool.
All right, here we go, folks. All right, so I've carved out a section of trail that I think the Sur-Ron will have some I don't know, some advantages, I guess, just because it's more flickable. Like, so you can see through here, it's pretty tight. There's a lot of start, stop, start, stop. And this bike is obviously a lot heavier. Woo! That was sketchy, y'all. Low tree there, y'all. My buddy Robert, who I'm riding with today, or it was earlier, he's gotten a lot faster. And it's hard for me to keep up with him now. He's got his stand-up riding down a lot better than me, and I don't know, I really need to go through the ergonomics of this bike because, Jesus Christ, because I don't have it set up for standing, and I'm just never comfortable in the standing position as much as I am, or as much as he is. Alright, I don't know. I'm not gonna blast that log with my front tire. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm feeling the roots pretty heavy in my front tire. Skinny trees. Trying to work on lighter grip on the handlebars because I get such bad arm pump because I'm such a sit-down rider. And that's one thing I'm looking forward to, being able to stand up more, is because it helps reduce that arm pump because you're riding more with your lower body. Whereas I'm very arm biased in my riding. Another thing too, regardless of which bike is faster the day, I'm not an expert on either dirt bike or Sur-Ron, especially not Surron. So, take this with a grain of salt. But I think it's an interesting comparison. I've had about a good, maybe almost 2 years on dirt bikes where I'm really aggressively riding and trying to get better. And I haven't been on the Surron for very long. So, my familiarity of it as a two-wheeled vehicle is far less than on the dirt bike. Again, though, on the dirt bike, I'm still not that amazing. So, if for some reason I'm faster on the Surron, the dirt bike riders might be, well, he's not that great. And they'd be right. So, keep that in mind when we look at the times. I'm 100% certain, though, the dirt bike will shine anywhere speeds higher than above, trail speeds are required. So, in the open stuff, fucked up right here. We're getting close to the end of the loop here. I hate this drop in right here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. I'm trying to keep talking, but guys, this is tiring. This is much heavier than the Sur-Ron. Very interested to see how the Sur-Ron feels through this stuff because of how light it is. I mean, this bike, it's a 2-stroke, so for the power, it's quite light outside here. Woo! Inside here, oh, dirt, mud, I mean, oh, these zigzags right here. All right, coming up on the finish line, right at this sign right here. All right, folks. All right, so dirt bike is fast. It's got the grunt and the higher speed stuff to really just keep the power on. And that's something that Sur-Ron definitely does not have. So yeah, we'll see how they compare.
All right, guys, we just got off the gas bike, and I know I can ride this section, a little bit faster than I have today, but I was able to put down a time of 11 minutes flat. So decent time, and we're about to go jump on the Sur-Ron and see what it can do. There goes Chris and Robert. I'm gonna let them get out ahead. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'm gonna catch them, but I don't really know. So here we are at the starting point. We're gonna let it rip and just see how it goes. Sport mode activated. Let's roll, folks. All right, definitely easier to. No, already bottoming out. That's not a good sign. Definitely easier to ride standing up than my bike. These pegs, though, man. Oh yeah. Oh man, this is weird. Oh, it doesn't want to stop. Oh, a little mud. All right, I like that instant torque though. Yeah, I gotta get used to these brakes. Woo! Initial impressions are the bike is very soft. Oh, but it's so flickable, y'all. Oh my God, it's so easy to ride. Well, look, if I catch them, which it sounds like I kind of am, I ain't gonna worry about it too much. On the time. Remember, I'm not really doing this for time, I'm really going more for feel. Initial impressions are, this thing is way flickable. I'm still getting used to the balance. I mean, I just got off my gas bike, so I'm used to those brakes and also the way it feels from a weight standpoint. But holy crap. I mean, I'm easily catching them. Whereas, honestly, I was having trouble sticking with Robert earlier on the 250. He's gotten considerably faster. Just for himself personally, and I had trouble sticking with him. Oh no. But man, I am catching him like quickly. Granted, he's tired. He's done one more lap than me today. And that certain fatigue out here is nasty because of how tight it is. You can see here. But I'm for sure faster. I can already tell. I'm definitely faster than I was in a lot of this tight stuff on this, just because of how easily it turns. And man, what a difference the weight makes.
I mean, I don't really feel like I'm having any grip issues, and the tires, still getting used to the way the brakes feel and this slidey stuff, because it is a little bit dusty. Woo-wee, but man, this is very exciting. I'm like really happy with how well it's doing. I bought this bike somewhat as a training tool, but might be a crutch, to be quite honest. This might be too easy. Oh man, I don't have any bark busters. Okay, this is gonna be a test because this is gnarly through here. Or no, not this one, the next one. Woo! Come on, climber. Oh boy. Major acceleration bumps from people going slow over that. All right. Okay, I think they're definitely riding a little slower than they were. Log hop. I'm not gonna push it over this because I don't want to end up with a flat. I'm pretty sure they're riding a little slower than they were yesterday because, earlier, because they're tired. And this is a very tiring track. But I have to say, still surprised how quickly I've caught up. This is gnarly. Yeah. I will say also, I feel very cramped ergonomically. I don't have enough space between the pegs, my knee and the pegs. I want my foot to be a little more extended, leg to be a little more extended, a little more upright. I feel very crouched. I feel very crouched, so it'd be nice to have maybe some peg drops. I know there's some peg extenders. Really, I need new pegs in general because these pegs suck ass. I'm slipping sliding. With my tennis shoes that I ride in typically, they're a lot more grippy. The rubber's quite soft on the bottom, but these pegs have so little grip that my motorcycle boots are not quite gripping like my shoe. See if he pulls over. Oh yeah. Hope it doesn't crash. Let's go, Robert. I'm not too worried about time at this point because I can already tell this is slightly faster. Brakes feel good. I'm running Shimano HOC3 pads and they feel great. Not really fading at all, but just stopping power in general compared to, I have Brimbos on my KTM. They're definitely not quite there. But for this bike, you gotta anticipate. That's all you gotta do. Oh no! Little root there. Shit. Come on, we gotta catch him. We gotta catch him, y'all. Root for me, y'all. Come on. Y'all on my side? Y'all on his side? Is it gas or is it electric, baby? Which one's better? Nobody knows. Oh, he's throwing roost on me. How dare he? Oh, these rocks are no Not good on these tires, they're too small. Oh. Oh, this is gnarly right here. Oh my God! All right. Is this trail worthy? I'd say so, folks. Fun factor, off the charts right now. Yeah. Yeah, this is where the bike shine, the big bike shine. Just because of the speed you can carry for this shit. The traction though is hilarious. Oh! Got a little over the berm there. I'll tell you guys what, man. Robert has absolutely left me in the dust. Can we mount an attack? Maybe. I just can't stay on the pegs. I got no grip. Get new pegs. If you get a Sur-Ron, get new brake pads and new pegs. I need to be standing up more. Oh my gosh. What a... Come on, Steve. Come on. Oh shit. I was not ready for that. God damn it, come on. Roll it out, roll it out, roll it out. Sketch. We're coming up on the stopping point. Ish. Next time we poke out of the woods here, there's a big open section and then my hands are totally pumped. It's weird. I get arm pump when I ride my big bike, obviously, but I mean, I'm getting it now, but it's a completely different type. It's like all in my hands. Oh God. Thing is, there's no ground clearance, all those ruts. Brakes here. Little blind turn. There we go. Coming up on the stopping point. Here it is. All right. So I got 78%. Bro, I was on your ass for a while. I caught y'all so fast.
Really?
Yeah, but you were behind Chris, right?
Yeah, we waited for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I was behind Chris.
I started tracking y'all down. But even when I was behind you,
You can throw it around fast.
bro, it is, yeah.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's so much easier to flick.
Yeah.
But the thing is, once we started getting the open stuff, you were just, brow, brow. I'm going to hit this track. Woo. Oh, yeah. That's my boy. Oh, I'm eating his dust. Oh, this kid's gonna be insane when he gets older. Look at that skill. Woo! All right, here's the verdict, guys. If you're thinking about getting a Sur-Ron, get one. Definitely need some modifications. Like I was saying, you know, definitely taller seat, taller bars would help. Definitely better pegs with more grip. And yeah, and then after the Shimano brake pads that I put in, I mean, that right there, I think would get you most of the way that you want to go. Maybe a bash plate on the front. It comes stock with a bash plate, but I'm not sure how robust it is. I do worry a little bit about what it can handle while I'm in the woods in terms of like taking damage or what have you. But overall, majorly impressed. That little section of the course that I carved out for this bike, I definitely think this bike handled it even better maybe than my two-stroke. It took me a little second to get comfortable on this bike, but I'm not sure what the time is. I mean, I was right behind Robert. He's on a 500 EXC. And yeah, I was right behind him. I'm not sure what the times are. I got to go back and look at the video. That's how I'm really going to tell what the times are. But yeah, so far, I think I might be faster on this than on the two-stroke dirt bike. So we will see.
All right, guys, so we just got off the Sur-Ron, and I must say that I had a blast riding this thing. I thought it was so funny, you know, the way it performed on the trail and the way I was able to ride behind my buddy, you know, on the trail. I didn't expect to catch my buddies at all, actually, and I thought it was really interesting that I was able to stay with my buddy on his 500 EXC, you know, for the time that I did. But went back to the video, looked at the time, and I actually ran an 11-minute and 51-second time on that section. So it's 51 seconds slower, which is a considerable gap. But I will say that the Sur-Ron was absolutely faster in some of the slower, tighter stuff, right? Anytime there was that kind of start, stop, real tight and narrow, kind of twisty, turny stuff, the Sur-Ron actually performed better than the gas bike. And the reason why is because, again, it has that instant torque, right? So you're able to dial in kind of precisely the amount of throttle that you need, you know, to get in and out of some of those turns, whereas on the gas bike, you know, you got to kind of wind the bike up, and potentially you might end up with more power than you anticipated. Another reason why the bike performed well in that tighter stuff is because the bike is simply lighter, right? So your leverage as a person is just much better on this lighter chassis, and it's easier to just maneuver the bike through some of those tighter trails. And then a third factor, not only is it lighter, but the bike is smaller, right? So anything that's tight, you feel like you're able to just kind of shoot through little gaps differently than you would be able to on the bigger gas bike. Now, as far as why the bike was slower, for sure, anytime I was in an open section on the gas bike can really put the hammer down and keep it down. And what I mean by that is you're able to achieve a higher top speed earlier, and you're able to stay at that top speed. Whereas on the Sur-Ron, you might have to check up for certain obstacles that would end up maybe even tossing you off the bike. The chassis of the KTM just absorbed a lot of that stuff, and you can really just plow right through it and keep on going. And there's a couple other factors with the Sur-Ron that I wanted to talk about that ended up with me running a slower time. A large portion of the beginning of the lap, I was kind of just getting used to the bike again. I've actually never ridden it here, so I don't really know how it feels on this trail. And with the gas bike, you know, the brake feel and the chassis feel is much different. So I was getting used to the balance of the Sur-Ron. There's a kind of a front bias on the Sur-Ron because the front end's really soft. And then also the brakes, you know, have a lot different feel in that they don't stop quite as hard for less pressure. So you got to kind of squeeze them harder. It's not to say that the brakes are bad, but jumping right off the gas bike and getting on the Sur-Ron, I had to kind of dial in my brake pressures and just get used to those again. Also, and this is one of probably the biggest reasons why I was slower on the Sur-Ron, is the pegs that the bike comes with. And I know what you're thinking, you know, how are pegs slowing me down? Well, the problem with the pegs is I normally ride the bike with tennis shoes, and the tennis shoes have a lot softer rubber on the bottom, and they're able to take advantage of what grip is actually there with the pegs that the bike comes stock with. However, when I put on my motorcycle boots, I noticed instantly that I don't have the same kind of grip on the pegs, and my foot was really, you know, kind of sliding around. So there was a lot of times in the trail where, you know, I felt like I probably could be going faster if I was able to actually properly weight the bike, you know, and dig my feet into the pegs without sliding around and slipping off of them. But again, you know, the Sur-Ron was 51 seconds slower. I don't care at all in the slightest. This bike is hilarious. It is so fun to ride. It's way more capable than I thought it was going to be coming out here, and I will definitely be back to, you know, enjoy some more time on the trails with the Sur-Ron. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you feel like you got something out of it, please like the video. If you want to see more Sur-Ron content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And yep, Steve Harris with Low Class Media. See you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.